right. Apparently we got a response to what the flight blade things are from a CIG dev. It's community manager, not any dev that's like actually developing it or anything. But Niku's been really like a pillar of, like, he is the community team in my opinion, because he actually goes, hey, what are the questions that players are asking? And then ask the devs for the answers and then post them on Spectrum so everybody can see it. Like, literally a legend. Thank you, Niku, for what you do. So Assault Lemon asked like a billion questions about what they are, and then I think he went into what they could be. Cool. But then Niku come in and said, let me scroll down. With the latest P2 update, you may have spotted a new loading screen mentioning flight blades coming with Invictus. This new component will let you fine-tune your ship's flight characteristics. We'll be sharing full details in an upcoming dedicated Spectrum thread. Stay tuned. Cool. So I don't know if that, like, I'm not going to go, told you so, or whatever in my video yesterday, because stats literally could be related to turrets. Bro, how do you get AI pilots from this? Can I read this again? This is the cope from the community that I was talking about. You must be joking. If you're not joking, I don't know what to say. Like, where is the word AI? Where is anybody getting AI from? Like, I don't understand where it's coming from, okay? Like, maybe it's like A and then lowercase L for Assault Lemming he's getting. I don't know. But let's read it one more time. With the latest P2 update, you may have spotted a new loading screen mentioning flight blades, and right next to it is turrets. So people kind of put the two together, even though it says turrets, like a turret, and flight blades, right? Like two different things, not the same thing. Coming with Invictus, this new component will let you fine-tune your ship's flight characteristics. So I think what this is almost, it sounds like a pre-test for crafting a little bit of what at least they've said crafting would be. Like when you upgrade, I think the example was like a Gladius, right? Is kind of like tuning your ship a little bit. It could be engineering. It could be, it's weird. It can go down like a bunch of different paths. Well, two. I think it could be like engineering or crafting. And because they had talked about how, you can have a tankier Gladius or a super fat. Like, you can get what you want out of the flight model by tuning your ship to be the way that you want it. Is this that? And doing it in a more simplistic way, faster than having to, get a level 5 Gladius in order to get what you want out of it. And then we'll see. They'll have to like balance. And when you complain about the flight model not getting an update, is this what they've been cooking the whole time? Could be. That would be kind of interesting. Hold on, let me close the door because my wife's vacuuming in the other room. All right, sorry. We have lots of dog hair to deal with nowadays. But yeah, the first thing I think of is, lots of people complaining about master modes. And my main complaint about master modes was that there was no update to master modes after the feedback came out, and a lot of people were like, hey, I don't like what has happened with master modes. And Yogi came in and was like, neither have we. And it's like, well, cool. All right, let's do some updates. And then no updates happened. So if this was the intended thing to kind of get that agility or positional combat or, insert term here that I don't truly understand because I don't ship PvP very much, but I've heard plenty of, Avenger ones and Virgils and Burks and Zero and Cutlet, number of people that I know that, PvP a lot in ships that don't like certain things. Well, then, does this answer those? No idea. No idea. What I do know it is now, I know what it's not. I don't know what it is, but I know what it's not. And it is not some random AI shooting in your turrets. And I guess I should take this as an opportunity to also I posted a video yesterday about, hey, guys, we got to stop this stuff. It's really silly. Well, number one, we got to stop where CIG is putting things in the game before communicating them, and then the community wildly speculates, creates their own expectations, and then things go wrong. We literally have a ISC, SCL, all of these opportunities for CIG to do things. And, Jared says, hey, I don't want to make videos about people fixing bugs. Here was an opportunity for you right in front of you where you could have gotten ahead of this before it ever came out. The expectations are set. Everybody knows what it is. They go in, they play it, they get feedback on it, it gets better, and we have a great game, right? But no, instead we do no video content, and then the next thing we do is about lore, and then the next thing that we do is about a ship sale. So it's like, there's just opportunities out there. Again, I don't know if this was an actual opportunity for them or not. Obviously, I don't work at the company, purely speculating there, but it would be great if the community didn't set their expectations omega high and then get let down by the fact that it's not AI blades. That was the arguments that I was making in the video, is that, first off, I don't agree. I don't like the idea of AI blades. I've never liked the idea of AI blades because I always like the idea of having a big ship that you crew up with your friends. Now, once again, I said this at the beginning of the stream, but since I'll probably post this on YouTube, because this is kind of big info, that I feel like what I'm trying to communicate to you, and the point that I'm trying to make is, I totally understand that you as an individual want to fly a big ship by yourself. Most of the time when I play MMOs, and to be clear, because I see some of the stupid comments in YouTube who don't watch the Twitch stream and don't know how I play the game and don't watch me play, I play alone 99% of the time for the same reasons you do, because the game is horrible when you try to play with other people. It is horrible to get together. It is horrible to get people in a ship. It is horrible to get off of a planet. It is horrible to get into a space station. Everything takes an hour to set this thing up, and it's super annoying, and that's why I don't play with that many other people, right? I do have an org that I play with, but we get together maybe once a week, and I haven't played with them very much. I certainly have not played once a week with them, even though I would like to, because of that friction, all right? So my arguments are not get rid of AI blades or get rid of the idea that you could have AI in your ship and flying it. I never said that stuff. And I saw lots of comments putting those words in my mouth. I like the idea of playing with friends. So the idea of what flight blades should be, or what AI blades should be, or what anything should be, is a single seater or a more solo driven ship should be really great and really fun as a solo player, and should be viable from the first day that you play the game to the last day that you play the game, maybe hopefully 20 years from now, right? And a multi-crew ship should be viable from the first day that you play the game to the last day that you play the game, but varying in its viability, in the sense of, if you're flying the ship and you have AI crew, then you should be making I guess the best metric would be alpha UEC per hour, or when the game comes out, UEC per hour. There should be no way that you make more alpha UEC per hour with an AI crew ship than somebody who has a fully crewed, competent crew of players, right? For many reasons. You'd be paying that AI crew, right, a certain fee. They generally should just not be as good as players, and no matter what, they probably won't be, right? Things like that. So there's like good and bad for flying a ship solo that is not meant to be flown solo, right? But you're probably going to start commenting on that, of like, because I started with the negative, right? What the real problems are how do you make being in a multi-crew ship fun? How many people want to sit in a turret and do nothing? How many people want to sit on an engineering screen and stare at it? I imagine some people will wave their hand and say yes, because I'm actually one of those people. For the most part, I don't mind sitting in a turret. I don't mind moving boxes. I don't mind doing the things that a lot of people don't like doing, as long as I'm participating in the greater plan or greater goal of the group, right? And I had a role in it, and we succeeded because I clicked a button, right? That's basically what a video game is, especially a like an MMO, right? You click some buttons during the raid, you participated, everybody wins, you get some gear, it's great, right? And how do you take the game and make multi-crew desirable? You don't make multi-crew desirable by using AI and using AI blades the most desirable. That's my argument. Is if you prioritize doing AI blades and you prioritize doing AI flying your ship with you and all that stuff, and not actually going and looking at the underlying experience that you're creating in Star Citizen and making it more fun, making it have less friction, which CIG has just not been doing outside of, I mean, Tier 0 item recovery has certainly taken some friction away. I don't think in the correct ways. But who has anything negative to say about spawning in with your armor on you? That's obviously nice. And I hope they see stuff like that, and instead of going, how can we capitalize on this and do it so people go to the pledge store, and hopefully they go, how can we capitalize on this and make a really good video game experience? That's the point I'm trying to make here, is there's no way, shape, or form that you want AI blades and players who are flying multi-crew ships solo to be the best and succeed as much or more as everyone else. Obviously, there's no winning in a sandbox game and all these other elements that I'm sure people are going to make comments on as well. But when you pit one player against another player, whether it's a race, a PvP interaction, or anything, there's winning and losing in these scenarios, right? And if the guy who's just flying around with AI is able to just be just as good as everyone else, if not better, that's obviously not a good thing. And CIG has mentioned that that's the plan as well, right? Is that AI are just not going to be as good as other players. It's a convenience thing, but the negativity is there. On top of that, there's the other aspects of, there's a lot of things that have changed, right? There used to be this thing where if your weapon was gimbaled, it would be down one level, right? So if you had a size 4 mount and you put a gimbal on it, you had to use a size 3 gun. AI blades were very similar. If you put an AI blade on a turret, it would go down in size. That is not going to happen anymore, most likely given the scenarios that they have changed and the things that they've done. So I have no idea what the future plans are, but given that most things haven't changed, or have changed, I should say, to be like, stay the same in the sense of like, if it's a size 4 mount, it's a size 4 mount. Are AI blades going to change in that way? I think that's maybe overcomplicating things a little bit. So what should AI blades look like in the future? I think that there's way more things that should be like talked about, tested, warned about, but getting ahead of things before any of that stuff happens, which I figured CIG would do that, especially with something like AI blades, which is why I suspected that I don't think AI blades are actually being a thing. I think Nico said that these are not AI blades, but flight characteristics blades. Wow, finally, we found somebody who's able to read and is totally like normal in the Twitch chat. So that's what I'm trying to say here, is we're talking a ton about AI blades because people kept saying that this was AI blades, and they are never and were never going to be AI blades based on, just reading it. And I get not everyone's language is English, and I was just trying to set everyone's expectations where they should be and not all the way up here where everyone had them. Like all of a sudden they were going to fly their Polaris around and by themselves and just, kill everybody or something, which was just never going to be the case. So that's all I wanted to say on that. I know it was a lot, but for a tiny, tiny little thing, but it's, this is not like an I told you so moment. It's just like, guys, set your expectations correctly and everybody will be happy. I'm so happy to see this. This is super fucking cool. Whether this was even just like a component that can be damaged that would affect your ship's flight characteristics, I'm super happy. So this is neat, and I think this is awesome. Everything here is positive. I'm just tired of the community arguing with people for no reason, and especially me for like no reason. So I feel like I have to like just kind of keep trying to communicate, because it's not It's not even anything. We're not even arguing about anything because it's like one person's arguing about what they think I said because I maybe just didn't say it right. So I'm going to keep trying to say it until people get it. All I'm trying to say is, yeah, these were not going to be AI blades. And I'm really kind of keen on what I now think they might be or what what they're explaining here. And I can't wait to find out more. It's awesome. And once again, huge props to Niku for just communicating. We don't get a lot of that anymore from them, right? So huge props there. Thank you, Niku, for being amazing. And we'll leave it at that. AI blades are definitely coming. Yeah, 100% at some point. Just like Squadron 42 is, just like the dynamic economy is, and just like everything else, right? So to say they're coming when nobody knows when, nothing's been prioritized as far as features go, things like that. There's no point in making the argument that they are coming or they aren't coming because now we're at the point where there's a cutoff. 1.0 is going to come out at some point, and some features, as well as some ships that you actually paid money for, are not going to come into the game. So to say that they are coming is also now debatable, that anything in the future is coming. We could be playing this game in the future. This could be the end. You don't know. So to say that something is coming when there is a deadline for when the game releases, it may come post-release, but what comes at release is what Star Citizen is, to me, at least. So just remember that as well, is that at some point the game is going to come out, and no matter what, some of the features and definitely some of the ships that you are looking forward to will not be in 1.0. Yeah, like Orion. I doubt the Orion's going to make it into 1.0. Literally, if you ask me what my favorite ship that has ever been thought up in Star Citizen, it's that one. I'm probably not going to get to play my favorite. I literally melted it not too long ago just to be able to try something else out in the PTU one day. And that's just how it is. So you can make those arguments, but those arguments are coming out of nowhere with nothing, no weight behind them, not backing anything. And that's it, right? So we just don't know what's going to make it in. We certainly know that ships are not going to make it in because they've communicated that, which means for sure, well, I don't want to say for sure, but it most likely means that features will also not make it in, right? So because features are literally sound harder to make than ships. So if some ships are not going to make it in, most likely features won't. And that's just that, man. It's all good. But once again, thank you to Niku for the update. And I really look forward to the actual update. And I can't wait to discuss that with you guys as well. Like on a super positive note, this sounds awesome. And I really hope that this engages with players. I envision a situation where it's like Gladius versus Gladius, and you see the rate at which the Gladius is coming at you, so you know what flight blade they have in, and then you might know how to counter that flight blade, but they know that you might be counter, and then you start leveling, and then it becomes like a chess match. That might be really cool. But again, pure speculation and fun, which is also fun to do. So cool. Thank you. Awesome. And now I'll go back to the game and try to get the Polaris mission, which I am having a very hard time getting.